Hey, what's up YouTube? So I got a question for you. Do you save your animal skins? And if you don't, why not? So today we're gonna be going over the process of how I keep my skins, and it's kind of a pretty popular way, but this is how I preserve my skins. I'm by no means a professional. I wanna get that out of the way immediately. So you're gonna see my fleshing skills are not that great. Right now in the process of buying a fleshing beam, but I'm not going to claim to be the best. I'm going to show you the general process, but you can probably find better YouTube videos on the individual steps. But anyways, I'm going to kind of talk to you why we do this, why you should start doing this, and then just kind of how the process works and what the finished product is, as well as my personal project of why I'm doing it and what I'm excited to have hopefully by the end of this year. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, to get started, I went ahead and took the skin that I had soaking in water overnight, and I wrung it out a little bit, and I'm putting this on my makeshift fleshing beam. Now this is just kind of a wooden post that I just have been using as a fleshing beam until I can get one. So this is a fleshing knife. Basically, you want to remove as much flesh, connective tissue, all of that as possible. You can see I already have accidentally poked a hole in there. I am not the best at this process. I hate fleshing. It takes a long time. But ignore the drip there. I just thought it'd be funny, and then it got too hot, so I took it off anyways. Sorry, trying not to get on a tangent. So basically, you remove as much flesh as possible. This is a long, tedious process. You can see I'm not the best at it, so many holes. But anyways, once you've got it all fleshed, everything from there is pretty easy. It's just take your time. If you do it with like a razor blade or a different knife or something like that, and you're not as amateur as I am, like I'm cutting off some of these end pieces, which for my project I don't need. But if you're careful, you can preserve most of it. You won't poke as many holes in it. The first raccoon skin I did completely with a razor instead of a fleshing knife, and it did turn out better, just because I took a long time to do it, and then I took my time, and I was very meticulous with it. And with this one, I was just trying to hurry up and get it done. So take a lesson from me. If you don't want holes in your skins, take it slow. Also, I do mine flat instead of as a case, like most people do, where I just leave it basically like a tube. If you leave it as a tube, some people say that's better. Some people say they don't like it that way. Personally, with my project that I'm going to kind of talk about in a little while, I need it to be flat, not tubular. So I'm not selling this skin. I definitely don't think I'd be able to find anyone to buy it, but it's all for personal use. So yeah, I'm not worried too much about the couple small holes. But if you're going to be selling this, definitely look into some different fleshing videos that are specific to that. I myself am going to be doing some more research once I get a good, decent fleshing beam. That way I can perfect this as well. I am by no means an expert. Anytime I show y'all something, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to edit out the parts where I screw up. I want y'all to see, because we're kind of learning together. This is not something that I'm a pro at. So this is a coyote skin. I was doing this one more with a knife on the table rather than the fleshing beam. You can see all the holes that I put in it from the fleshing beam. When I switched to the knife method, I think I had one extra hole. But anyways, once you're done with that, you'll salt the entire thing. You want to cover it with salt. Usually people buy the big thing of pool salt. It was too late in the evening for me to make the trip to town, so I just used some table salt. But either way really will work. It's more expensive to get the table salt than to buy a bulk pack of like pool salt or something like that. But you want to cover everything and basically leave it overnight. I usually come back and hit it with a second layer of salt just to make sure that it all stays dry. I didn't film the next step, which is basically after you've had it salted for a day, maybe 2 days, then you put it back on the fleshing beam and scrape off all the salt, and that also takes away any last bits of flesh. Now you're going to mix a saltwater mixture in a bucket and then take the skin and soak it in there overnight. I'm following the instructions from the back of the tanning solution that I use, but this is just kind of the general process for salting your hide. So I use this half a coil spring that I'll eventually turn into a knife just as a way to weigh it down in there. You want the whole thing to be submerged overnight. Next day, I did the same thing with the coyote skin as well. Next day, you want to wash them all up, clean them up, get all that salt off, And once again, check for any flesh and remove it if there is any. Now at this point, you are going to wash them with a little bit of soap to get all the grease and oil and all that out. You want to wash it really well. You don't want to leave too much soap in there. You want it to be clean and non-greasy. I usually wash them a good 2 or 3 times just to make sure I get all that grease and nastiness out. Also, you don't want your skins to smell nasty or have anything to it, so that also helps with the fur itself. So once you've gotten all that done, you're pretty much ready to get the hide solution on. All you gotta do is hang it up to dry. You don't want it to be like bone dry. You want it to be like slightly tacky on the skin. But I hang it out to dry for about 6 to 8 hours, something like that. This is the formula I use. It's called Deer Hunter and Trapper's Hide Tanning Formula. I've used one of these bottles to tan like 3 raccoon hides. But I'm going to use one bottle here for this coyote skin and that raccoon, and I should have a little bit left afterwards. So you want to rub this in every crease, every crevice, everywhere. A little bit of this will get through the holes and get into your fur. It makes it like sticky and nasty, so having no holes in your skins is a whole lot better. Once you've put a lot on it, for the first day, you fold it into itself and leave it skin on skin contact on the inside, and then the next day you will open it back up and let it kind of air dry open like it is sitting right now. I did not end up filming me opening them up, so I'll show you what it's look like after they're done though in just a minute. But I'm folding the skins into each other just like that. If they're cased, then you'll just put them right side in. So this is what it looks like a couple days later after having it open back up. Now you're supposed to stretch it and pull it every day to kind of make it nice and soft. I kind of forgot about it, so I didn't do that step. But no worries, it is super stiff right now, but if you take like a rope and hang it really tight, and then you can kind of pull it back and forth on it to loosen it up. But let me explain why I'm doing this now and what my project is going to be for the future. So as with a lot of things in my life, it all started with a joke. So I kind of joked around about wanting to wear a possum skin garment of some kind, just because possum fur is very ugly. But that kind of got me thinking. I was like, what if I made a wearable trophy? So I'm not the kind of guy that's going to pay to have someone mount something for me. But if I could learn how to process my own skins, then I could make something. So I was like, all right, what kind of garment? And then there's the obvious, like, a coonskin hat or something like that. But I was like, no, I want something unique. So then I saw this picture, and I was like, yes. So I was like, all right, I had the whole plan out in my mind. I'm going to have a raccoon around the neck, and I've already made that part of it. And the head would snap to the tail around the neck, and then it's going to drape down, and then I'll do a patchwork on the actual cape part of it of all the different animals that I harvest this year, and then that's going to be my cape. And so through my trapping, hunting, anything like that. Now there were a few rules. I had to be the one to actually harvest the animal. It couldn't be one that I found on the side of the road or one that someone else had killed or anything like that. It had to be my animal that I had hunted, and it also could not be one that I raised myself. So our home raised rabbits or anything like that, those would not count. So anyways, that's the plan. So far, we've got the fabric cut out, we've got the neck done, and my wife's learning to sew so that she can do that. I've got 2 possum skins ready. These 2 skins are going to go on there, and then I have the neck piece fully done. All the leather work on that's done. It's just got to be sewed onto the cape itself. So that's the plan. With the rate I am at right now, I'm about about a quarter of the way through the year, and I only have those few skins, so I'm really going to have to amp it up. Now, in my defense, I didn't start this until mid-January, and also, I should have another coyote soon, and it's not hunting season for most things, so like I want to get some nutria, maybe beaver, and other things like that, but I have to wait until the season in this winter. But anyways, that's kind of the plan. Why would you do it? That's a good question. If you're wanting to get into any kind of like skin processing stuff, first of all, if you sell the skins, you can turn a little profit. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to make you a millionaire or you're going to be pulling in 6 figures, but you can make a good little extra side hustle by processing skins. If you get good at it, you can process skins for other people. While the cost to get into it is kind of on the mid-range, it's not super expensive, and the skill doesn't take a ton. Now, it just takes time, and then I think the better you get at it, the less time it will take you. But for me, the fleshing process, without a good fleshing beam and without the proper knowledge, it's very difficult. So don't take my advice right here on don't follow my exact fleshing technique. I'm just walking you through the steps. There's tons of trappers out there that'll show you better ways, like techniques to actually flesh. So I'd go and seek those out. But this is just the process that I use for my skins, and it's worked pretty well so far. I'll find myself getting in a groove with the fleshing knife where I won't poke any holes for like half of the skin, and then I'll poke like 3 or 4 in a row. So it's very difficult for me. But my fleshing beam should be on the way pretty soon, and hopefully that'll help me out. And I'm going to be watching a whole lot more videos on that. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. As far as the update on the cape, I will keep you updated in future videos. This is really all I have right now is the outline of the cape and a couple of skins prepped for sewing, but they're not actually sewn on yet. So as the year goes on, I'll keep you updated on that. If you don't mind, like the video, subscribe, comment, whatever. You know the deal. I'm saying this just to say it, whatever. But more importantly, learn this info now, because it's better to know it now and not need it than to not know it when you need it. And who knows, there may be a day where you need to be able to process a skin, or you need to be able to make your own clothing or something like that. And I think that's kind of an extreme example, but also it might just be a hobby that you find you really enjoy. For me, wood carving was something I never thought I'd be interested in, and then I tried it once, and I was like, hey, this is actually pretty fun. And there is something relaxing about the fleshing process when you're taking your time. It's just you got to have that spare time, which I don't always have. But anyways, guys, I'll catch y'all next time. I've got some other videos in process of being edited and finalized. I should have that lure painting video done either within the next day or two, or if I can't catch any fish with it, because I really want to get some good fishing footage with them. But then maybe it'll be next week. But I'll catch you guys next time. As always, I love you, Jesus loves you, and have a great day.